I've been dreading this toy. I've had it for like 2 or 3 weeks now. The previous two were just okay in my book. They looked great, but the transformations weren't really intuitive at parts, and just overall I didn't find them very fun. So this is one of those sets where the main goal is definitely the combined mode. Otherwise, it's just, more cars, whoopity-doo! Never seen those before. That said, the combined mode will be coming in another video, sorry, please don't shoot me. So he comes packaged in car mode. He rolls along on his rubber wheels just fine. He's got a few accessories. He's got his Brainmaster, an alternate head if you don't want to use the Brainmaster gimmick, an alternate faceplate for the combined mode head, hands for combined mode, sword parts, and these two blue parts that are also used in the feet in combined mode. 2 screw covers used in combined mode. Technically, he also kind of has this shield that's kind of an accessory, but in car mode it's attached, and in robot mode, well, it's a shield.
Transformation time!
Alright, to get started, we want to lift this panel up. You'll notice first thing that the tire's a little in the way. Move it out. Same on the other side. Now we will pop this out and give us some room. Then we want to take these toe flaps, push them in on both sides. Simple enough. Pull them out. See where they tab in there. See where it tabs in there. Flip the figure over. I'm going to untab this, untab this, untab this. All right, now we're going to rotate him around. Tires at the top. Not too far at the top. To unpeg this. Notice he has several peg slots and pegs there that match up. Going to unpeg this and snap it out. Now take the wings. Well, I'll say wings for the shield. Bitch. Open that up and pop this off on that side. Pop this off on that side. You can see where those peg on there. That peg into that hole. Turn him back over into this mode. Lift all of this up, just kind of loosening it. And you'll need to work this piece out. There. That didn't feel good. Now let's get to the legs. First we want to unfold these on both sides. Let's see, situate it. Pull the legs up and rotate them out like pretty much every Transformer figure ever. Take this crotch piece here, we're just going to push it down. Snap it up. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now we're going to split the legs. From here, let's rotate it around. Let's get to the feet. Flip this toe out. Flip this toe out. Then angle this so that that can clear. And pull this down, that'll help cover up some gap. Alright, you can push the toes in there so they look nice. Round on the back. Open up this little cover flap here, kind of like Masterpiece Sideswipe. Remember that toy? Alright. Push it in and you can see here this tab pegs into there. Wink. Then he's got this nice big back heel. Give him lots of stability. Same thing on the other side. Yoink. Alright. Last thing to clean up the legs, let's fold in these blue parts and stand these up straight. One thing you will note is that on the art, it shows them being out to the side. However, in the instructions, they show them being straight up. Do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. It's your toy. Alright, now it's the arms time. Let's fold this stuff out of our way, get that out of the way on the backpack, stand up our arms. Pretty typical stuff here. Let's open this up, unseparate them, and now you just fold out the hands, fold up these springy parts, push this in, and you'll notice it doesn't clear, and that's really, really great. I'm really happy when parts don't have clearance. So tug on that a little bit. So you can see that we're just not clearing, but a little tough love, and there it goes, and they snap back down. These actually need to come up and out, and then turn it around like that. And do the same on the other side. I mean, if you want to leave them like this, you can, but this is the official instructions. Show it like this with the tire in the front. Right now, from this position, we want to rotate the arms out. If I can get some movement, there we go. Rotate them like this, and fold them a little bit like that, get some gap. There's a big old glob of plastic grease right there. Alright, next we're going to set up the Brain Master gimmick. So you notice the channel there and this piece here. Grab our spudger. Just enough so that we can grade it out. It's really difficult to do without a spudger or some tool. Just line that up. Push it in there. Now it's stuck in that channel nice and happy. And it'll activate the Brain Master gimmick. Alright, next we're going to snap this back onto here. You will notice there's a post here and a peg here. And then you're going to match the peg here. And the post kind of goes into a half circle bit here. And that's where it's going to go. In theory. There we go. Alright. Stand it up. Kind of straighten the head up and tilt it back. Get it out of the way. Now with this whole wreck, make sure this goes back in there. First off. And I know that's dark in there, it's difficult to see. I want to make sure that stays where it should. So we got to take this piece down. And see, we're still in the channel. See, we're still in the channel there. Take this piece, this armature comes up, and it's going to go over. Push it up, and now I have to work with this here, but there are two tabs right there. There's little notches right on the inside of this red piece. We need to line them up. There we go. And then now, if you've got everything hooked up right, you can see that when you raise and lower this, the bar in there is moving up and down. And that'll activate the Brain Master gimmick. Let's flip the figure over to the back. Start dealing with our kibble. Go ahead and rotate the legs around just because why not? Next, we want to take these red pieces, flip them to the front, and you'll see this peg and that hole. Yoink. Snaps in nice and easy. Alright, onto the back. For the back, you want to make sure the wheels are still up, that the pegs from the wheels are still up, and fold that down. Then on what's left of the kibble up here. I want to make sure these guys are up and out of the way. Rotate these pegs forward. Take these side panels and fold them out, unwrap them, and fold them up. Same on the other side. And then take the tires, get them nice and out of the way, and get the head out of the way up there. We're just going to fold all of this back. And when you get it right, it will sit flush. And the instructions, of course, kind of gloss over it and make it seem a little easier than it really is. If you're having trouble getting the backpack where you want it, I really recommend just checking the angle on these wheel joists. And just kind of pointing them up a bit and bringing it down and letting it sit over. You can kind of push that on down, get that snug, work the wheels back. Take our little Brain Master, and you'll see on his butt, he's got a little divot there. Inside the chest here, there is a little notch. Probably hard to see on camera, but trust me. Take this guy, and ideally he's sitting on that notch. And then once we close it up, boom. Arm's a little wrong here, but it's easier to see from this stage on the instructions. Take these, rotate it down, and fold it around. Take this, squish it over to the side. The main reason I figured that out was trying to attach the shield. Now we can take this notch and put it on that peg. In theory, you can do that. It is on a swivel, so it will slide around. Alright, there we go. We'll do the same over here. Down, back, out of the way. His main weapon is going to be this sword, which comes like this. I used a spudger to put in here and start just kind of working it loose, because it's really tight in there and it feels like it's going to break something. Maybe it's sturdier than it looks. There we go. The big blue part out of the way. Push these two together. So even with the blue part out of the way, it still doesn't snap together any better, but you can push it together. It makes kind of an angled grip there. Ah, there we go. So these are on double hinges, so you can push it up and get straight post. There's no tab or anything to post it into his hand, but just close it up in there. If you jiggle test, he's going to drop it immediately, but you know, don't jiggle your toys and he's fine.
Alright, articulation. So with the Brain Master gimmick, you don't get any head articulation, but if you use the alternate head, it's your typical ball joint articulation. Really nice shoulder ratchets that let you go forward and back as well as out to the side. He has a bicep swivel, an elbow bend that doesn't destroy the sculpt, wrist articulation, fingers doing the one finger then three fingers all curled typewriter thing, 100% waist swivel, hip ratchets that go forward and backwards, the backwards one being really silent, as well as out to the side. He has an upper thigh swivel, a knee joint on a ratchet, and then an almost double knee joint on a great ratchet in there. He has a calf swivel on yet another ratchet. Toe and heel are on separate ball joints, so you can do with them as you please. As for the no instructions test, able to get to robot mode, pretty much fine. That said, definitely grab a spudger. You're going to want a spudger for this guy. Doubly so if you want to use the Brain Master gimmick. He really likes to get stuck in there. The backpack doesn't really click into place, and you need to make sure you raise those back wheels up again, you know, to tuck it under and to get him to sit down. Having to squeeze some of the pipes around in the arm really wasn't the best either, but still, could do it without instructions. Now, to get it to car, that's another story. A scary, sad, terrifying story. I was able to eventually get it without instructions, but it's quite a pain in the ass to figure out how things are supposed to arrange. The news is kind of doubly bad because there's no instructions for going in this order, so you kind of got to figure some of it out yourself or try to remember how. Let's go over the paint here briefly. So we got some paint on the face with a little overspray, but it doesn't really affect anything. He has various accents on the arms that look good, break up the monotony. He has paint on his waist, he has some blue accents, but don't really cover everything. The silver shield parts are already chipping, unfortunately, and at parts that have no rub spots. The legs have accents similar to the arms, although I do have this weird extra glob of silver paint here. So let's wrap it up. Cons, some of the paint is a little sloppy or chipping, even though for the most part it's good. The transformation to car is kind of rough, really not obvious. That's probably the biggest complaints with the figure. On the pros side, this guy is loaded with ratchets, just everywhere. The transformation to robot is pretty obvious for the most part, even though it's not great, it's not bad. And so ultimately, this line just fits right in there with everything else TFC has done. I felt a lot of their stuff is kind of lifeless, and I've never really been super into the style. That said, the toys have always been decent quality. They consistently put out toys. The aesthetic fits in with your Chug style well enough. No one else is doing Road Caesar. And of the 3 Road Caesar bots, I feel this is the best one done so far. This guy's going to run you probably about $140 at most of your internet stores, but you can find him on eBay from, your shady Chinese seller for probably about $125 shipped, which is how I got mine. So should you buy this toy? It's up to you. If you like other TFC products, then yeah, go ahead and buy it. If you really like Road Caesar, go ahead and buy it. I don't think there's anything wrong with this release or really wrong with this series. You kind of know what you're getting with TFC at this point. There's nothing bad. The quality's good. The transformations are middle of the road. They're not amazing. The figure itself is not overly stellar, but it is competently made. I don't think it's junk. It's not going to fall apart on you. I don't think you're going to break it without abuse. And, it works as a Road Caesar on your Chug shelf. So I hope you liked the review. I'll have Road Caesar coming out here hopefully in a couple of weeks, so stick with me. See ya.